Hello, fellow Megatennists, and welcome to another episode of Hello, fellow Megatennists. I'm your host, LaRue, and with me is Spider.
Hey.
Neb.
Hello.
And Glib.
Hi.
So we have a lot of things to talk about, surprisingly. You're going to want to click off the video now if you don't want to hear about Persona 5. But the Persona 5 concert happened. And did you guys watch it by any chance?
No.
Some of it. I missed some of both days.
It was too early in the morning.
So unfortunately, we don't live in Japan. So yeah, it was kind of early. I think for me, it would qualify more as being late because it was like 3 a.m. But I watched part of it. It was pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the Super Live stuff, but the production value is always pretty high. People always do this thing where they get surprised that Lotus Juice speaks perfect English despite him being raised in New York. But whatever. It was good. I don't know if you saw the part where they did the retrospective. They showed like Persona 1 and 2, which people are also surprised about. It was all in all kind of good, I would say. Some weird, questionable costumes, like they're playing some random song, like a sad, like Persona 3 song, and they're wearing like cowboy outfits. And I didn't understand why. But they did a lot of cool things. They wore the Power Ranger stuff from Persona 2, I guess. And
Featherman people.
Yeah, Featherman. It was pretty good. If you like those concerts and you like seeing Lotus Juice and the like whole cavalcade all do their thing, I think it was worth watching. But what people really watched it for was the last like 5 minutes or so, which is where they made the big announcement. The first announcement was Persona 5 Royal. Did you guys watch that trailer?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yep.
What is the biggest like impression you got from that trailer? Like, is it hype? Was there a particular thing that stood out to you? What did you guys get out of it?
I'll go first. I'll be quick. It was the grappling hook, right? They're talking about how the grappling hook is going to change the dungeons, correct?
Yeah, that was a pretty good thing that like stood out. I mean, not for me in particular. I think that's funny that you pointed that out of all things, but
well, so for me, it's like one of the chief complaints I heard about the game, besides there's not enough music, which is an insane complaint, is the less insane complaint that the dungeons are set. Right, they're going to be exactly the same every time you play through them. So they said, the replay value of Persona 5 is not as high as previous games where the dungeons are terrible, but they're at least randomized in layout. But this one, if you play Persona 5, if you play the new one, the Royale or whatever it's supposed to be called, there'll be a new element of, I guess, traversing it or solving puzzles or something. They're going to implement that stuff in the dungeons, right? It would be insane for them not to.
I mean, yeah, it seems like it. They say a bunch of stuff on the website where it talks about just like updates to the gameplay and how the dungeons function and how the bosses are going to be reworked, and overall it's going to be harder. So I think adding like that grappling hook is a good idea. I don't know if they do go with the whole randomized element. That's kind of lame. I didn't think I quite enjoyed the dungeons. Pretty much my favorite part of Persona 5. So to hear someone say like, oh yeah, the replay value is low because of the dungeons, so it's probably a little upsetting to me, because I thought like what they tried to do with replay was have strong or enough confidence so that if you weren't really good with your time, you could actually play the game again just so you can see the other confidants and their interactions. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
it's my opinion that the dungeons hold up on their own. You can play them multiple times, even if you're playing back to back and have a good time. But it's still interesting to see them even go back and bother and change that stuff up, so that if you played the first version, the original, you'll get something out of going back, which is interesting. I didn't think they would ever do that, because I knew for sure they were going to do something to capitalize on Persona 5 and do a FES or a Golden sort of thing, where they go back and change stuff. But to add a whole nother like method of traversal and claim to overhaul this stuff, it's pretty interesting. It seems like they're going to add a lot of value to the game. Who's next?
Let's get Glib.
All right, say so. I'm going to be a hater, but to be honest, I didn't really care. I might buy it later when it's like 40 or 30, but I don't really feel like buying that game again. I dropped Persona 5 at the Space Dungeon, Okamura, whatever his name was, because I didn't like the dungeon and I was just kind of bored with it in general. But at the changes look cool. The new girl might be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. It looks neat, I guess, but I'm not really happy for it.
What about you?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. There's some interesting things going on there, and the characters, though, that's probably what grabbed my eye the most. Kasumi looks like she'll fit in well enough. I don't really know her role, but I don't think she's going to be anything too out there or like a villain or anything like that. So, school counselor though, his character reminds me a lot of a character from Boogie Pop. So I'm curious to see where that goes because it's eerily similar. Especially with the whole wish fulfillment theme that they seem to be going with this one, where people have their dreams fulfilled or something, as they mentioned in the trailer. Yeah, it's very similar. And then there's Human Morgana. I do not want to see any of that.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Like a cat, at least I can, just kind of pushed off. Oh, okay, he's a cat. Human Morgana just comes off as really creepy.
It's like the eye shape, I think, is the weirdest thing about it.
It looks like Atlas Design Team art, like from Redux.
Oh no, the sad thing is it probably is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't look like something Soejima would design.
So, have you guys seen the box art for Persona 5 Royale? I feel like I'm not sure if this is like a thing because I don't remember what the box art is for Persona 4G, but like Kasumi takes up so much real estate in the new box art where I almost feel like she's going to be really important, but in a way that I don't know, I'm not considering. And then you even have what's his name, Arsene in the background of it, like right behind her. So I'm like wondering if it's some sort of like relation between them two, because Arsene's all red, she's all red, and her head's really out of perspective. But because that's an argument for another day.
That's the art where her head is gigantic and everyone else is kind of small.
Yes.
Okay, that's even the box art. I thought that was just like some splash art they made to like promote it or whatever.
No, that's the box art. She's the head. Maybe she might be that big in real life. I guess compared to the other characters, that's why
she's gonna be like 3 times bigger than them at all times. That would rule.
Like, okay, this is like a really off topic thing, but have you guys ever played like the old like NBA Jam for like Sega or anything?
No. Is this a reference to Big Head mode or something?
Yes, Big Head mode.
Yeah, mode
she's gonna be the first big head mode in a Persona game. It's one of the ideas that Hoshino kept shooting down.
Look, representation matters, and that's what we're getting with this edition.
I definitely think she's going to be important for whatever the third semester story is going to be.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess we should probably get into the things that they talk about like in the on the website, and the Famitsu article kind of explains a lot of things too. The big things I guess they mention are the third semester, which is just a whole nother section of gameplay where there's going to be new events like the what's it called, Hatsu mode thing, the shrine visiting.
Right.
Then they mentioned that the Velvet Room twins can go outside of the Velvet Room, which I don't remember if that was a thing in the other one, but I think that's new. And then just weird things like the daily assist where you can choose, or you can get help basically choosing what to do. I guess to maximize your time spent playing. Of those like new sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I saw one of the screenshots in the Famitsu article said that there was something different about mementos. It doesn't say what, but there's like a new path or something.
Yeah, but cool if they spruced up mementos a little bit. It was kind of got a little boring.
Yeah, really.
Mostly because it's exactly like every other dungeon previous Persona games because they're on original bed.
Yeah. Oh, we also have Shoji Meguro making new songs for the game too, which is cool.
Nice.
I guess. Even though the game already has like I think 112 songs.
Now we'll have enough music because I keep hearing the same songs over and over again. I get into a battle and guess what? I hear the same song the last time I got into a battle. I think that's unacceptable. I can't believe that this game does this to me.
Have you tried playing any other dungeon or experiencing the rest of the game? Because there's so much.
I keep grinding mementos, and I don't know. It's the same music every time. I hate it. No, but that's actually really cool. It seems like a really high effort remake.
Yeah.
With Golden didn't add nearly this much stuff, right?
Yeah, I actually took issue with people comparing it to Golden because Golden just had Marie, I think one new dungeon, and that was about it, right?
Yeah. And she wasn't a party member, right? So
no, she was just a very cool, well-written character in that new version of the game.
That is how she's known.
At least they did a better job of tying the themes together with Izanami and Inazganagi and Golden, it seems.
Yeah, I like a lot of the additions, but this just seems so much more comprehensive if what they're saying is true, if they're not lying to us, which I don't think they would be.
Did you guys happen to see the drama kind of unfold on Twitter and some of the lesser valuable social media where people were taking issue with Kasumi's Joker looking outfit that she's going to be wearing when she's a Phantom Thief?
Yeah, her sort of vaguely BDSM. I thought was cool is she looks like a Hellraiser character, but without being like an evil monster. I thought that was cool.
She could still be an evil monster. I can't believe you would be so degrading as to discount a woman's importance as being evil, Yeah,
you're right. She is a woman. I forgot.
Yeah, but she's a playable character, and a girl. She's not going to be evil in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
But she's red. Red is the color of evil.
Yeah, this sort of always happens, right? It's like people get upset because the character shows some skin or whatever. And this isn't even that bad. This isn't DOA levels, Dead or Alive levels of exploitation,
We have Anne in fetish gear, okay?
Yeah, she already sets the precedent.
I think it was weird because it's one of my favorite designs of P5 so far. I thought all other ones are kind of corny, to be honest.
I feel like all of them tie in with their characters. With Anne, her big problem was her people sexualizing her, so then she took ownership of that, and that's why her outfit's super sexual. Ryuji is an outcast, so that's why he's a weird, ugly, punk looking guy.
He's Captain Kid. He's a bit of a rebel.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a pirate theme going on.
And then Yusuke sucks, so that's why he looks lame.
He's Japanese Robin Hood,
Japanese.
Okay?
Steals from the rich, and I don't know. No, he just sucks. Can we just kill? I hope
the rich and get spoiled in a pot.
Good. I want there to be the new third semester. I want there to be a scene where we get to throw him in a pot and just boil him alive, and then he'll die. I don't know. But the point is, I feel like all the characters have some sort of themes tied to their costumes. I don't really know if I could really argue that for Futaba because she doesn't have any character, so it's really just Futaba is
covered
in
in
nerd, so she's an alien.
Yeah, she's covered in techno bullshit.
Yeah, techno and Necrom. What is her persona? I can't pronounce it.
Necrom.
Cthulhu mythos stuff. Yeah, there.
Yeah,
Spooky.
and then Haru, I forget, she's proper and prim, so I guess that's why her thing is all prissy looking. It looks like a
she's
musketeer or whatever.
Around the bicep is poofy. That's an old French style dress. But she has an axe and a grenade launcher as her weapons, which just sort of doesn't fit.
I don't even remember who she is as a character because she's another one that was pretty, not memorable, I guess.
Well, you also didn't finish the game, did you?
No.
Okay. So
no.
You probably shouldn't talk because you're a fake fan. But
cut out that part where I said I didn't finish. I finished the game. It was great.
And then you have Makoto, who is a JoJo reference.
Yeah, living JoJo reference. I mean, to my couldn't finish the game. I did put in more hours than most people, so I probably played, I think, 150 hours, and Yes, it counts. But
No,
then
you didn't even see the completion of the character arcs in the story, so you can't.
I finished almost
the value of them.
I finished almost all the social links.
Did you see the credits?
Confidants.
Did you see the credits?
No, but I know what happens because some unsavory fans want me to not have fun. But point is, Kasumi's outfit is, I guess, supposed to relate to her character because her description on the website only says two things: she idolizes Joker, and she's a accomplished rhythm. I can't even say the word. Rhythm gymnast. The people that use the twirly thing, which is what she does in the concert. Yeah. And, supposedly they're supposed to wear leotards. This is almost like a leotard, but it's more of a Zatanna from DC like type thing where it's more of a superhero-esque thing that is pretty sexual. Then she has like, Joker aesthetic stuff to me. The boots and the jacket thing look Jokery. The fact that she has a sword instead of a dagger, but it looks Jokery. She has red gloves. I almost feel like being a Joker copy is part of it, and I almost want to say that she's probably going to end up being like a Joker from another universe or something dumb.
Well, we don't know. But yeah, it is.
But people,
the point is, it's dumb that people get like really mad. We're like, oh my god, this is.
I mean, and I've seen a lot of arguments because some of the arguments are like, well, in Persona 4 and 3, there's that super ridiculous, like basically bikini like outfits, and I think they actually do wear bikinis in one of the outfits you unlock for Persona 4. But
in 3, they had the even worse ones, the one with like the metal stuff on it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Those ones are bad. If you complain about those, absolutely. Let's go.
But then on the other side, it's like the very first dungeon is about not like sexualizing like kids, and then the rest of the game kind of sexualizes these kids. So I could see both sides, but at the end of the day,
Persona 5, because the whole point was not taking advantage of and tyrannizing minors from the perspective of power.
True.
It's strictly about sexualization. It's about a lot of things.
No, what I mean is like that first dungeon is that's like the theme of it is like the whole sexualization, taking advantage of the kids. But then there's a lot of different scenes throughout the game
because the male kids are also tortured constantly. They're not getting the shit kicked out of them. But the first thing you see, I think, is them getting the shit kicked out of them.
Which reminds me, okay, so we're like going off
sexually.
Did you guys see how in the trailer for the first dungeon, it's not Anne in that dungeon, it's that other kid, the little wiener who gets beat up.
Mishima, is that his name?
Mishima, yeah. So he's in that dungeon, and I kind of like built up a theory in my head about what's going on, because then you also see that scene. There's actually a screenshot of I can't remember her name, but Futaba's mom with Futaba and Joker and the coffee guy all in the same coffee shop together. But if you know what happens with her, then you know that that's not likely to be a thing that happened. So it kind of contradicts some of the lore of the original game, and I almost feel like that last semester, the third semester, is going to be like exploring the game through like a warped perspective, because one of the things that Kasumi says is that she thinks that people need to solve their problems on their own or something to that effect, as opposed to what the Phantom Thieves do, which is they forcibly change people's minds like through manipulation. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you guys want to talk about like game theories.
Why would she idolize Joker, but also think that they shouldn't do what they do?
Because he has a cool trench coat. Have you ever considered that?
He also wears glasses, but doesn't actually need them. They're like fashion glasses.
Maybe she agrees with what they're doing, but not their methods.
No, yeah, that's basically what she's saying, more or less. I think my interpretation of it, anyway. And then, so besides like the like stuff with her, like all three characters are getting memed, but in different ways. With her, people are redesigning her Phantom Thief outfit and saying they fixed it. With Takuto Maruki, the new consultant guy, people are like editing his like juice box into other like characters from Persona's like hand for some reason. And I don't really get the meme, but that's it.
That's funny.
And
yeah, well, the original post was someone saying that they fixed it by covering her up. So then that's good. That's going to be a meme because everyone's going to make fun of that.
But then some people took it seriously. Someone made like this weird frilly, like idol looking outfit, and I'm like, well, that doesn't. Like, we don't know her personality at all. So, like, how are we going to know how to redesign it to quote unquote fix it?
That was a serious redesign post.
I don't know. I can't tell. Like, I have that problem online where I can't really like tell when people are joke posting or like posting for reals. So I just assume everything's real.
I actually rather like her design as is. So it gets the idea across that she's a gymnast and a phantom thief. Simple. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
Yeah,
I mean, I have strong feelings about it either way. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
When I first saw it, I wasn't like, I didn't have an emotional reaction to it. Like apparently, a lot of people did. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's it. It doesn't feel out of place. Good.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction to her at all was just looking at her legs in her default like uniform and just be like, that one leg is longer than the other if you like turn it. So
that's your takeaway.
Yes.
You start measuring background objects to get a sense of scale and be like, this one's off by 5 seconds.
I actually took her legs in Photoshop and I cropped it at the knee and I twisted it and then I took off her foot and adjusted it to see if I was right. And yeah, I'm like, it's not as bad as I think it is, but it's pretty bad given where her waist
You're not
is.
Joking, because I was joking.
I'm not joking.
I hate you so much.
It's fine. It's just exaggeration. It doesn't need to be perfectly accurate.
Why didn't you post this on Twitter? This is important work you're doing.
Because there's two types of posts that I basically do. It's usually like just being a fanboy and fanboying out about something, or it's like me trying to like basically meme correct or something. And I don't want to like post something like that and then people just like lambast me for being nitpicky about something like that. But those are the things that bother me. When I saw her like Joker outfit, I was like, our Phantom Thief outfit, I literally had no feelings about it. And then when I saw her other outfit, I was like, her leg, oh no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That really upset me. Her leg being longer.
Yeah. And
all right. Well, what else we got for Persona 5 Royale? Royale with cheese. Anyone? I
mean, I was like digging around because I was really hoping that we'd know what the limited edition would have because that's like the thing that's important to me. But the only thing that's confirmed so far is that it's going to have an art book. So I don't know if that means they're not going to re-release the art book, but with like Kasumi's art and Takuto's art and super scary, creepy Morgana art. Mm-hmm. Because they already have that art book. I think that this might just kind of like addend that or something.
Well, they've got new areas and everything too to add to that art book, so maybe they'll add that stuff.
Oh, right. Kichijoji and I don't know.
They've got to add all the third semester bosses and all that as well.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be quite a bit, I think.
So, I guess the other big thing in relation to Royale is our Royal. I keep saying Royale, but it's just because that's what I want to call it. It sounds better to me. But the other thing is how it did not get announced for the Switch. I'm sorry, but it's funny.
As expected.
That's pretty hilarious.
But what did get announced for the Switch? Something better, right?
Yeah, so if you love Persona for its like lovable characters and all the things that they do that's pretty funny and the idea of being able to date everybody, you're gonna love this game they announced for the Switch. It is Persona 5 Scramble. So imagine if you were playing Persona 5, but instead of doing the other things that you like about Persona 5, you're just constantly killing Pyrojacks.
What if you were Lu Bu?
Don't pursue
but a phantom thief. That's what this game is.
So I mean, to be blunt, we're basically talking about how Persona 5 Scramble was announced. It's a Musou game made by Omega something and the people who make all the Dynasty Wars and other Tecmo Koei.
It's the guys that make every game where you are a person with some kind of weapon like a sword and you're fighting literally thousands of nameless, faceless creatures, and they drop power-ups and stuff.
The majority of us don't buy.
Right.
So that was announced, and it was announced to be a dual release, actually. Persona 4 PS4 and the Switch. And people got really, really mad because the first thing I thought of when I saw P5S was Persona 5 Switch, because
that's what everyone thought. And now, it's true. There's a Persona 5 game on the Switch.
So people were mad about it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's funny to me because I felt like I've said it so many times that it was 100% not gonna be Persona 5 Switch, and people were mad about it. It actually is the most downvoted release trailer for any Atlas game ever. It's 30% of the dislike interactions are downvotes. So suffice to say, I don't think it's people who are just upset that it's a Musou game. I think it's people who are mad about it not being a Switch based on the comment section.
I'd bet it's majority like that.
Yeah, every Japanese comment that I could find where people saying, man, I'm excited or something, or I hope the frame rate's not slow. Basically, that's like the two things that most Japanese people said. Almost every English response was, Persona 5 Switch, dead. Persona 5 Switch, why not? Or, this is not what I asked for.
Or why is it called Scramble?
Yeah, people are actually mad that it wasn't called Scramble instead of Warriors, which I think is funny too. So first I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on this Musou game? Are you hyped for it? Do you not like it? Is there any kind of things that we should consider in terms of whether or not it'll be viable on the Switch versus PS4?
I'm not a fan of the series at all. But I was reading the comments too, and there were some concerns about the Switch version not having as many enemies on the playing field as the PS4 version, and maybe some other issues with it.
Yeah, sort of performance-related stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Glib? What do you think?
Well, seeing as the stuff we see on other stuff like Mortal Kombat 11 and stuff, it'll probably be a lot. I guess that's, I don't know the word for it. Can't think of the word right now. Well, anyway, probably look worse.
What does that have to do with Mortal Kombat? What?
Because Mortal Kombat on the Switch looks horrible compared to the
on
PS4.
The Switch.
Yeah.
You were comparing the gameplay to Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I was like, this game sounds like it's going to be awesome now.
That was the last thing I could think of that was on both Switch and PS4.
Okay, yeah. In terms of performance and how it actually handles a million people on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny that people fall for leaks and rumors and then got mad when they're false. That's just wild.
This is what happens when you dedicate yourself to one outcome, and it turns out to not be true.
And what do you think, Neb?
The last Musou game I played, the second to last one I played I was in 8th or 9th grade. I went over to someone's house, and we played Dynasty Warriors, and that was tight. And then a couple of years ago, this is the last one I played, I bought the Fate one for $8. And it was pretty bad. It really was the same game. Yeah. Well, I got 4 hours out of it, so that's I guess it's only $2 an hour, which is not great. Because you want to get $1 an hour for your entertainment for games, right? At least. Anyway, that was terrible. You never thought about that? I always think about that. I'm always looking for a deal, man. And with Persona games, you get a deal. And Megaten in general, you get a good deal for entertainment to dollar ratio. But anyway, yeah, if this ends up being really cool, I might get it, but I'm not going to pay $50, $40, even $30 for a Musou game. It's just not going to happen. It's boring.
All right.
It's the same shit all the time.
So, for me, I am not hyped per se because, yes, I'm anticipating it for it to be lesser on the Switch, which is going to disappoint fans who own the Switch only a lot more. But it's just that if it's going to be Persona 5 only characters, then it's going to be a really boring game, because you have to consider that for, like, I was looking this up yesterday and even this morning, almost every single like Musou game that I could find has a playable cast of usually 20 plus.
Yeah.
So the only way for that to work is that they add Persona 3 and 4. But even that is like not satisfactory to me, because I want to play as like Raito, which is the first reaction that I saw from like the SMT fans from Japan that I follow on Twitter, and they were like, "Bring Raito, please."
They really do like,
but like every single time, even in the even on the Super Live like chat for like Nico, they were like, Raito, and I'm like, really? That's your reaction to a Musou game, is immediately start typing in Raito followed by 888s and www? Like, all right.
It happened at the D2 anniversary event too. Their live stream is Raito, even the audience.
Well, which is, I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm fine with any kind of DLC or any unlockable characters, because that will make it more fun to me. If I get to play as like anyone besides Persona 3, 4, and 5, that'll be good, because I feel like it's an oversaturated market in terms of like those casts of characters. I'm so tired of seeing Naruto, like, which is a really weird thing to be tired of. I don't think I would have ever lived in a world where I would say that I'm tired of seeing this character that I would only see in one game, like in like maybe 6 or 7 games.
Naruto
so
specifically?
Well, all of the cast, but I singled out her because like she's someone that I see brought up a lot for some reason. Maybe it's because I follow some people who have certain views about Persona 4 that I'm not going to get into. But the point is,
that's another episode. That's a premium episode.
No, we're never recording an episode about this topic. But the point is, I'm like kind of hype in the sense that I am just excited that it's something new, like a thing that we haven't seen before for Persona or any Megaten for that matter. But I'm very unhyped for it to be just a Persona 5 cast, because I like 3 of the main characters that are playable, and I don't want to like live in a world where I'm forced to like look at Futaba anymore.
These are facts.
Wow, that's very dire.
So yeah. Do you guys want to talk about the second question was, do you think we're ever going to get Persona 5 for the Switch, or is that just a pipe dream?
I don't know. At this point, it seems super unlikely, right? Because they just announced the remake.
Yeah, I think it's highly unlikely.
What happens after that? Like Persona 3, I guess they got portable after. Did they get portable after FES?
They did get
portable.
Has
a lot of reductions,
but,
doesn't it?
I don't know. What I was thinking is, could the Switch even handle PS3 games, or am I like underselling how powerful the Switch is?
I think it'd probably have some performance issues. That's part of the reason why I don't think there is going to be a Switch port. Downgrading the visuals and the performance is probably not going to go over too well.
Yeah, I don't know the technical aspects of what engine they're using. I know they're using a special one, right? Like one they either just made or just updated specifically for Persona 5. So I don't know how that applies to Switch, if they can optimize that correctly, but I just don't think it's likely from a release perspective, because the remake is now going on PS4 only, supposedly. So it's going to be at least years until we hear anything about a Switch port, because why would they? You know?
Oh, the only one working with Switch right now is the SMT5 team, and apparently they're struggling a little with that or something.
Yeah, they did say that they're new to developing on the Switch, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to take them some time. You hear that, everyone? It's going to take some time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
5.
And
so it's not out yet. In case anyone was curious. It's not. You can't go out and buy it at GameStop.
The production just started in August, didn't it?
What, for Scramble?
No, for 5. SMT5.
Keep up.
Scramble's already in development, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if we take into account when they registered the Scramble website, it was at least in development as of October last year. SMT5 would have been. it's hard to say for SMT5, but it's been in development for at least a year now.
It's the Shrine date visit is the first date of production.
Oh, really? So then everything else was like preliminary stuff?
Yeah, it was pre-planning.
Okay, so then yes. Because the last thing that I remember pre the Shrine visit was them talking about they're in the part where they developed all the models for the demons, and they're at the part where they're like building like I don't know what they're saying. They're building and demoing stuff. I don't know what that means though in terms of game development.
Don't know.
Who knows? Nobody except Atlas.
The Scramble looks fine though, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing about it more, but I'm definitely not interested in paying presumably $6 for a standard Musou game. Definitely not happening. So it's got to have something special, something interesting, a cool hook to it. Which if it has it, cool. If it doesn't, see you later. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, the thing that's kind of weirding me out, I guess, is like how little was actually in the trailer. It was just a very short amount of gameplay and then a random weird girl with heart hair, which, oh my god, like that's such a not good design in my opinion, but whatever.
They did that for the other crossovers too. They add a girl. Seems to be a techno Koi thing.
But do they have to design her so weird looking? Like she can't exist in the real world if she's wearing if she has floating hearts around her.
The Hyrule Warriors character they add looks really out of place too. That's the other Musou crossover was recent.
The one I know of is the One Piece one. It has has 29 characters. I don't know if there's any original ones though.
I hate the aesthetic of One Piece. I just want everyone to know that.
That's crazy because I kind of imagine you as that the cook.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
You're that cook guy with the lollipop or cigarette, I think, in the original.
Who? What?
So in One Piece, there's the main guy, the gum guy. I forgot his name. I think his name is Luffy. Then there's Usopp, who looks like what I imagine Glib would be if he was an anime character. Then there's Nami.
First off,
there's Nami. She's the cliche busty chick girl.
Yeah. So wait, is this the blonde character? I just googled.
Yeah, the blonde guy. You're either that or the guy who's voiced by Piccolo, the one with the 3 swords.
I do want to be Piccolo when I grow up, so that's probably accurate. I don't know who that is. I don't like this blonde guy though. He looks like an asshole.
Well, he's I don't know. It was just a one-off joke that got taken. We spent a minute on me explaining it, so it can't be funny anymore.
Yeah. Well, you're making the joke at the assumption that I've seen this program, other than the pictures of it. Let me elaborate.
It's just kind of like if you liked anime and stuff and you didn't know what Dragon Ball Z was. I felt like One Piece was well known enough that you'd at least know in the generality of it.
No, I know the main guy, what he looks like, mostly because there was a really funny Twitter picture I saw where a guy got an arm tattoo. So it's like a tattoo of the main guy, and his cartoon arm stretched up to the man's hand. So you know what I'm talking about? So it looks your hand is Luffy's hand, but then the caption was every time this man jerks off, it looks like Luffy is jerking him off. So that's how I know him. And then I know there's a bad guy who looks like the Shinigami from Death Note. There's a bad guy who looks like that, and I only know him because of Mugen, because he's a Mugen character. The open source fighting game thing. Go watch Salty Bet if you haven't seen it yet. Please go watch it.
No, thank you.
It's great. All right. Anyway, what else we got? We got more news.
Oh yeah. So Joker came out in Smash. Everyone was happy, right? But then somebody at Kotaku UK published an article claiming that the song that's been out for about 2 going on 3 years, Get Up, Get Out, Wake Up, Get Out there, has the word, I'm going to say it, cover your ears if you don't want to hear an offensive word. It has the word retarded in it. And people kind of went out of their way to attack this journalist, quote unquote journalist, for their lack of journalistic integrity and basic research.
Yeah, I want to take point on this because I think this rules. I think it's a great article. To start off, it's titled Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Persona 5 DLC includes a disability slur, which is a great headline. And then my favorite line in the article is, if you skip to around 148 into the track, you'll reach a section of the song where words are softly spoken rather than sung. At around 157, it appears the term retarded is used, followed up by the assertion, I can say it. So, like, in this person's mind, the like English sort of like, you know, it's definitely a woman who's like a native Japanese speaker who sort of has difficulty with English, is saying, let's go, let's play retarded, and then follows up that lyric with, I can say it. As if like that's some kind of authoritative statement, like excusing herself for saying retarded. It's just it's such a good like piece of writing as this person analyzing the lyrics that don't exist.
Yeah,
But
so
that's crazy, man. That's wild. I feel bad for her.
I mean, this is so good because it's like it can go one of two ways. Is this person A, so dumb that they think a song that's been out for years actually uses the word retarded for no reason and then tries to defend it in the next line? Or is this like classic like clickmongering, like people just trying to get attention in any way, in this way, in the guise of like trying to defend a minority group that's at risk or whatever?
Well, they got their clicks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's this work of art. I've archived it. I'm going to read it every now and again because I think it's really good work.
yeah, a lot of okay. So I kind of went into detail with this. Actually,
I think you cut out. Can you try that again?
I think he died.
LaRue is experiencing technical difficulties. Would anyone else like to dunk on Kotaku UK while we take a slight intermission?
Man,
Man,
I have nothing to say about this. It's just dumb.
It's very dumb, but in my eyes, it's so funny.
I wonder what the Atlas staff was reading this. I wonder what their faces look like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine any other professional in the industry being like, what's going on in the news today? It's like, oh, these people think they use the word retarded in a song.
Did they actually give out the official lyrics for that song or no? I know people were saying that they were saying retorted. That's like official.
can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, so I did a lot of research on this. One, there is no documented lyrics for that in the OST or any other official thing that displays the lyrics. Two, Lynn has claimed that she freestyled something, so I think that these lyrics are her attempt at freestyling. And three, one of the claims made by the author is that she has she's on the spectrum. She has autism spectrum disorder, so that's kind of why apparently this was offensive to her. And so all three of those things are pretty funny and interesting on their own. Okay, I guess funny is probably maybe not funny. Oh man, I'm gonna look like a bigot.
That was the most incredible setup for a joke. If you'd played that straight, that would have been awesome. You fucked it up.
If we had sponsors, we just lost them.
But the point is, like, it's crazy because one of the things that she didn't do, which I was really bothered by, is that she didn't actually contact the author of the lyrics, the official lyrics, which would be a guy named Benjamin Franklin.
Really?
his legal name is
That's
Benjamin
right.
Franklin. I found his like website and everything, right? So the thing that she did was she sent an email, a formal email to Atlas, like Japan or Atlas USA, and then a formal email to Nintendo of USA asking what the lyrics are. And the crazy thing is, I'm like, okay, is there a system where any song featured in a Nintendo like game is like formally like submitted lyrics or something? Like, I don't understand what the logic behind that. What's the rationale, right? And then the other thing is like it's easy to figure out who wrote the lyrics because like they're credited on every platform. If you just type in "wake up, get out there," like Benjamin Franklin's name comes up as the lyricist. So why would she then go all the way around the world instead of just contacting the lyricist who's an English speaker, like fluent in English and might be able to shed light? Even though I think that at the end of the day, Lynn freestyled it. And even if she did freestyle,
but also she probably didn't freestyle retarded.
But yeah, no,
that's unlikely.
Yeah, but then, like you said, she's not an English speaker, or she's not fluent in English, and a lot of what we know about like Atlas lyrics, Shoji Meguro has went on a record saying that he likes putting English words in the games because people don't pay attention to them because their core audience is Japanese people. They just put English because it sounds cool. That's what he said. So if Lynn freestyled and she tried to say words, there's a pretty good chance that she's going to say something that doesn't make sense or say something that is like innocuous, but it just could potentially be read bad if you were really trying to fish for it. But when I listened to the lyrics, I couldn't hear. It was like that Laurel and Yanny thing where people were like, oh, it says Laurel and Yanny. I could only hear like retort it, or like maybe it was saying retarded, like, you know, like how retardando is a technique in songs where you slow down. And I'm like, maybe that, like, because she's a lyric.
I don't know that. Yeah, I've heard this song a million times, and at no point did I ever think that it was an attempt to say retarded.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't make sense contextually. There's literally nothing there, and that's why.
I was gonna make a joke, but then we're gonna lose all our Persona 5 like viewers.
Do it. Let it rip.
Nope. But this was like probably the most ridiculous. I think it's the culmination of all the ridiculousness surrounding like Megaten, and I'm bothered by it because it's like becoming very normal to find something to complain about for any Megaten release. We had the Catherine debacle. We have this. We have the fact that Kasumi's clothes are revealing her legs, even though one is longer than the other. People are more worried about how her legs are more revealed than how long one leg is. How can she walk? Like, like this whole.
I love that this is the tack you're taking. This is really good. But yeah, that's actually a good point. I hadn't really connected those and thought of it in that capacity, but that's actually an interesting point to make. I hadn't really thought about how a lot of the, except for like besides SJR, a lot of the recent releases have had some kind of weird controversy about them, right?
Well, yeah. Catherine and Persona are a bit more well known than Redux.
No one even knew it came out. That's why no one complained.
But then even like Tokyo Mirage Sessions had drama with the whole they're censoring it, like, which is, you know, the exact opposite of what people complain about now. They're saying these people who make a living by
people complaining.
Yeah, true.
It's opposite people complain about each problem.
It's the people that like I'm bothered more by the people who complain about the Tokyo Mirage Sessions thing than than the other stuff. But the point is, I guess that I'm worried that this is going to be just the norm. Atlas is going to just be known as that controversial company, and it might stunt their like potential growth. Which is why I'm glad that Atlas didn't really respond to this crazy lady, and all they said was no. It doesn't say that word. So
I mean, Atlas weathered the storm of fatless memes from the early to mid 2000s, so I think they can withstand this current onslaught of issues.
Yeah, I hope you're right. Otherwise, it's the death of Atlas.
Finally, we'll be free.
So, do you guys want to talk about SMT5 news?
Oh yeah, did you guys hear about the new trailer? No, you didn't, because it's not out.
So I think I don't even want to I don't want to dictate the conversation too much. What are your guys' thoughts on like just the fan base and the general like sentiment around SMT5?
I'm annoyed that it's like it's never coming out. It hasn't even been in production for a year, or maybe a little over a year. Expected to be done in 1 year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like the way that you have to engage with the fan base is to complain. I guess I don't know. I don't like to defend any corporation ever or any company, and I'm not going to. But like the opposite, which is just complain about every fucking thing ever, beyond any semblance of realism about how anything works, is just so fucking dumb. It's like the game's not out yet. It's not going to come out for probably 2 or 3 more years, at least, right? So
yeah,
knock it off.
Yeah, I mean, if we were very optimistic, 2020 would be the earliest, and that would be super optimistic. 2021 or
2020.
Yeah, 2021 is probably the release date, like in Japan anyway. We'll get it like 2041 or something.
No, maybe 2022 if they release it late 2021.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna take them like 6 to 8 months to do whatever.
I just want a trailer that content and like gameplay and stuff. Like I can wait for a trailer for that in it.
Yeah, and actually, I'm with you on that actually. So I was interested like a long time ago just because it just looked different than what we've seen thus far with like SMT4 and Apocalypse and Deep Strange Journey. But at the same time, I am more interested in the gameplay and how it's going to look and feel. Is it going to end up being like a first-person dungeon crawler, or is it going to be like a Nocturne style game? Like those are the questions I have, and I want to know if I'm going to use a Nintendo Labo like to play.
You have to construct cardboard armor, and then you have to VR and like walk through it.
You know, you'd pay for a cardboard comp.
No, I absolutely would not.
I would buy you a cardboard comp.
All right,
Amazon exclusive cardboard comp.
Yeah, and it comes with the Amazon smiley face on it.
That's got to be so irritating to use, though.
So far,
you have a computer on your arm in real life, and that's how you bring the demons out. Like that's got to be so fucking bad.
It's probably more comfortable than Flynn's Amazon cardboard costume.
Oh yeah. Poor Flynn. He had like a Best Buy costume, Amazon costume. But what are your thoughts, Neb, on the well, you actually kind of touched that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's not dictating the pace of my life. I don't care. From what I've seen, the very tiny bits I've seen, it seems cool. They're taking their time, which is good. It's very good when people take their time to make something that works, and it is, the essence of what they could do. It's not something they just rush out to please everyone.
Yeah, and they have a lot to live up to, especially with it being like on an actual workable engine.
It's a mainline numbered game in the series, It's not like Apocalypse where they can just take some existing game and just slap some new stuff in it and go. It's a whole new thing.
And everything they do for this one is going to be reused at least twice. And that's just a given. That's what they do with all of them. So we have to just take into consideration they're not just making a game that's going to be a big game. They're making the bones for the next couple of games that we're going to get.
Yeah, I'll get news whenever it comes out. I'm good for now. I've got stuff. I was playing Sekiro for 3 weeks straight. I beat that. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, you just retarded it.
Yes, I am retarded for Sekiro.
I said I'm going to write a journal.
Oh, I can tell the difference. I'm sorry.
And then I guess... Sorry, you're going to say something, Spider?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I'm good.
All right. The last Persona 5 news item we have is...
Oh yeah. So Scrap Games, I believe they're called Scrap. They do that the Real Escape Room. So it's a series that they kind of do based on everything from, I believe they did Resident Evil, they've done 999 or Zero Escape, and they recently announced they're doing a Persona 5 themed escape room, which is going to be pretty freaking amazing. The reason why I'm excited for it is because that same company has brought over a lot of those escape rooms. So they brought over the Resident Evil one. They brought over, I think, a Legend of Zelda based one, and a JoJo one, a One Piece one, and yeah, etc. etc. You guys get the picture.
But they brought them to the U.S.
To the U.S. And they did like a tour of most of them,
which is the most important place on Earth.
So the fact that this exists with that company in particular means that we have a shot. I mean, even if it's going to be just like that, they might bring it to like Anime Expo or PAX West or something. The idea that it's going to come to the West is amazing, and it's probably going to happen. So have you guys done escape rooms before?
No.
Yes. I've done at least half a dozen, and I'm undefeated. I'm a genius.
I don't think I'm going to answer for Glib. He's never done one.
I haven't done a pro one, but I've done them before.
A pro one?
Like, you know, like they have the buildings for like businesses that do them, sitting around them. But I've done like ones where they have like you can buy a set and you can like put stuff around your place and stuff, and then do it in the house or something like that.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I've never heard of this. Like, people do it in their own homes? They have like homebrew escape rooms?
Well, it's similar. It's like puzzles and stuff around your house. It's an escape room basically, but it's not the same kind of stakes and stuff because you're in your house, you know. But
I've never heard of that.
Dinner party escape rooms.
That's crazy. I actually would like that. We need to get together one time and make us an escape room, and then we'll like record ourselves playing it, like just the audio only, so people will understand why we're screaming. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's a good podcast. Is you can see puzzles, but then you're not going to tell people what they are. You're just talking about the solution to them.
Yes, I think thanks Glib for that interesting idea.
Now we know what we're going to do when they finally bring that stateside. Special edition.
I'm gonna do it. I think the only thing that's ever come close to like a Megatennists escape room is like they had this mystery game that you could play by listening to this audio CD thing. Like, I don't really understand it. I never actually played it, but it's like this chick in Tokyo and you have to solve puzzles to escape. So I think it might be what you're talking about, Glib, but it has like an audio component to it. And it's Megaten because there's like a Jack Frost on the cover, but don't really know much about it besides that.
Would they recreate the palaces or something like in these rooms? That'd look kind of cool if they did.
I would hope. I don't know too much about it. I basically just saw that it was happening and like basically. But I'm hype. So aside from that, I don't know if you guys know what what Sega Heroes is, but it exists, and they released a survey where you can submit, I believe, up to 4 different characters you'd like to like be a game, and they had a lot of like Megaten options. Well, actually, I should say they have a lot of Persona options because the only Megaten character they had was Rhino.
Yeah, so the way they offered
and Mach X.
Yeah, so the way they offered the survey was they were like, choose the game franchise you like the most, and you choose ones like Persona 3, Shin Megami Tensei, and Maken, and like some other games. And it was really weird because in Shin Megami Tensei, the only character listed is Raidu. He's the only one. He's the only character in the whole franchise. That's it.
And he's not even SMT.
Yeah, which is the crazy part. All right, and then what makes it even more funny is Jack Frost, you know, the mascot of the franchise, and Atlas itself is in the Persona 3 option.
Yeah. Yeah, that survey was very strangely laid out. Yeah, there was like 9 characters under Macon, wasn't there?
It was the entire playable Megatennists cast.
I like how they later amended because Minako wasn't there, but they didn't add any SMT characters in.
Yeah, that's so bizarre. I mean, if like those minor weird making characters are worth putting in the game, you'd think at least Demi-Fiend or someone who's like kind of emblematic of SMT would make it in the SMT category, right? Or maybe they just figure, you fucking people are so insane for Raidu, that's all we're going to put in here.
I don't know. I'm like looking at the list of people of like games. They have Billy Hatcher, which is a one-off like Sega GameCube game. Really good game.
Yes. Yeah. The only reason I remember that game existed, besides you saying that, was Sega has like a kart racing game, like Mario Kart, and he has a stage in that game. And I was like, where do I know Billy Hatcher? And I was like, oh, I read about like a review in Game Informer from 2006 or something. This is the second time I've thought about him in a decade. So thank you.
I kind of miss getting those magazines every month.
Yeah, remember when it was cool?
Like all the new releases. Because, I didn't want to deal with dial-up.
Okay. So I'm like just looking through the games, and it's crazy because there's one-off games like Skies of Arcadia that has almost the entire playable cast. Snowboard Kids, which I mean was really popular when it was out, has like everybody. So
who has given a single minute to Snowboard Kids in their life? Besides you.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I've given at least 50 hours.
I'm very aware. Besides you, in the past decade, who's given a minute of their time to Snowboard Kids?
I think a lot of people, because they actually recently released some merch for Snowboard Kids through, I forget the name of the company. I want to say Fangamer. They're the ones that do they kind of got like their big start from, wow, I can't remember the game, but it's the Earthbound / SMT clone type game.
What?
Undertale.
Wait, how is it an SMT clone? That is clearly like an Earthbound clone.
I think he said he got his inspiration from Megaten also.
Really? He did? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is that why there's so many Sans jokes with Megaten people?
No, it's because everybody who ever played Undertale is at least a Megaten fan, basically.
No way, dude. There are so many like Tumblr people who love that game, and they're not Megaten people for sure.
If you like the collectathon or demon negotiation thing part, you're probably played this game.
That is a fun game, though. I did play it, actually, a couple of years ago. Probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any strong feelings about Undertale. I liked Deltarune, the new one, better, but Undertale was just...
played it, but I've listened to the battle theme, and that is a good battle theme.
What if you heard that for 70 hours like Persona 5?
Well, then I would say there's no music. The music's the same. It's bad. There's no music. There's not 200 tracks that are for all different scenarios that change out constantly for what you're doing at any given moment. It's just the same music all the time.
Didn't Nocturne or something have a thing where it would be like a slightly different version of the battle theme at times, or the battle theme would play a random different guitar solo sometimes?
I think it would start in different areas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, different parts of, rather than like in Last Surprise, instead of starting with it would start maybe later on in the song.
Wow,
I wish they would do that again.
Yeah, actually, because that was cool, especially because I think he did like it was a pretty long like loop or whatever.
I don't think that really works for lyrical songs, though.
Yeah.
Well, she could just keep saying "retort it" over and over.
Yeah, I could get madder every time it happens.
So, I was gonna ask, did any of you guys actually try Sega Heroes?
No, I actually have no idea what even type of game it is, what the object of the game is, what the story is. I saw that survey posted somewhere, and I laughed at all the entries, and I voted on it.
Good. So I played it. I'm actually playing it right now. So Sega, please sponsor this video. But
yes, we've shown ourselves to be loyal fans by all definitely playing this game.
you only need one person to get sponsored, I feel like. The point is,
I didn't know that rule. That's interesting.
yeah, but the point is, it's essentially like it's like a Tetris type game, but when you get like a good combo of shapes or whatever, then it'll cue the characters to attack each other. So then the goal is to kill the opponents while solving this like puzzle thing. It's super simple and straightforward. Like what?
Is it a puzzle fighter?
Did it before?
Well, the idea is you like clear a row or whatever, or make a combo or something of shapes or whatever they are. And the bigger your combo you do, the more damage goes one way or the other.
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
So I wouldn't really recommend it unless you kind of are like bored. I kind of play it on my downtime, I guess. But it's good stuff.
It does seem like a compelling case for a mobile game because you don't want to get one that's too involved. Yeah,
exactly. Because it has all the like normal like box ticks. Like it has the energy. You run out of energy, you have to wait. You know. But that leads me to our next topic, DX2 and the new stuff and why everyone's still mad at DX2. So are you guys still playing DX2?
Yeah, I started playing in for a little bit with the new Aragate expansion.
I'm still playing it.
Yeah, I'm still playing. I don't know. I'm not mad enough at it to stop because I just don't. I don't know. It's not a situation where I feel like I need to spend money to continue winning because I feel like I'm doing okay. So, whatever. I'll keep playing. It might get to the point where, if they keep making Masacados, make them pay only, we might be in trouble. But
it is pay only right now.
Currently, he is.
Got to pay for the banner next week, man. I'm sorry. I just got to do it.
And the man himself has been unofficially announced. Daisojo.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I mean, should we talk about Matador too? Because he wasn't out last time we talked about this either.
Yeah, Matador came out. He's a little disappointing. I think it's good that he's not incredibly good. Because now he's sort of like a hipster's choice demon, right?
He's not something I definitely use.
Yeah, he's not going to be on the top tier teams because he relies on evading.
Yeah, so
he's not like particularly strong, but his whole gimmick is he dodges and he hits you with Andalusia.
Yeah, the idea is that you have the other Nekomata with the high evasion thing to increase your chances of evading, and then you just wreck the other team. Who here has that demon, by the way?
Me, I have a Matador.
I do too.
I don't.
I hate it.
So all the elite gamers have Matador.
Yep.
Don't worry.
But honestly, you're not.
Next time.
Yeah, he'll be around. I mean, they might be. There's been rumors of fusion, Hero and Fiend fusion at some point. It seems to keep being pushed out because Matador got dropped out of nowhere. Daisojo got soft announced out of nowhere. Doesn't seem like they put in fusion with all these new guys.
Yeah, we're getting like
Parvati and someone else too for fusion later in June.
Who's that?
Parvati.
She's the one that self-emulates and becomes Sati, I believe.
The pink one?
Yeah, I remember her. Okay.
I forgot what the other demon was.
Was it Sati?
No, I don't think so.
Describe them.
I don't know. I just remember the name.
You don't remember the face or anything? All right, that's fine.
No, I don't. I just saw the post about it, and that's it. I don't remember anything else.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up is they brought up Naja from SMT2, which is really weird because she's not a real mythical creature. She's made for SMT2.
She's not based on any sort of thing, really?
No, yeah, she's like Hanon, where she's just a character. I forget what her thing is. I think she helps you solve the thing in the I forgot, the storage place. I think she helps you solve that puzzle.
Huh.
I mean, she's not in just 2 though. I'm pretty sure she was in Strange Journey, and I think she was in 4 also.
Yeah, they brought her into other games, but she's like Maria, where she was made for that game.
Well, at least
Like Trixie.
Maria's at least based on like the sort of, I think it's Mexican
Is she?
sort of idea. Yeah, well, I mean, presumably, right?
I mean, I would hope, I don't really know.
I'm pretty sure Mary is based on the depiction of angels in later ones, because they say that angels have like the head of a bull, an eagle, ox, or something else like that, and I'm human.
I mean, I don't want to spoil it unless you guys. I mean, does anyone care about SMT9?
Kind of do, but not really.
No, I whatever.
I'm not a stickler for spoilers.
I guess I'll just say that in the instance of that game, she's probably related to the Gnostic depiction of like I don't know, his Jesus pantheon, I guess. I think
it's supposed to be like Sophia.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, kind of.
You have a different name? Okay, interesting.
You guys hear the door slam?
Yes, we did.
Good. So now you know that. Like, okay. Anyways, I tried to look up the other new character that's coming out, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I think that it's kind of interesting that we're getting all this like we're rapidly getting content for DX2, but it's, I don't know. I feel it's lackluster. I haven't really done much in the Orgate 2. Like, I don't actually find it enjoyable at all, so I just auto it, and then I get frustrated that it has a percentage on how much you've like mapped out the dungeon, so I have to manually like make sure it's 100% because it bothers me otherwise. But I don't know. Besides Spider, have you guys tried the Orgate 2 yet?
Yeah, I have. I'm at floor 9 right now. Or actually floor 8, I think. Let me check.
Yeah, I beat it all and mapped it all, except for the boss fight. That shit is insane. I'm gonna have to come back and figure out something to do without him.
That thing is insane.
Yeah.
Probably next Berserk on everything.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need some Berserk levels for that, for sure. I don't know what to do about him. I'll have to come back to him later. But I'm surprised. I thought they were gonna do like 10 floors a week, like roll it out that way, but that doesn't seem to be the deal.
10 floors a month, it seems like, maybe.
That sounds a little depressing.
Yeah. The story seems really similar to Argate 1, too. Just like heavenly virtues instead of deadly sins.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely. That's true. But at least they have sort of more characters, They have consistent characters rather than like a weird faceless person every 10 floors who you follow.
Yeah,
to be honest, I prefer that more.
The two, I don't know, I kind of like the two. Well, no, I don't really like them, but...
Well, they got the 3, so they have the cowardly neutral person, and then they have the
he's
edgy
a jerk.
chaos girl, and then they have the weird law boy who kind of looks like a girl. It's kind of ambiguous.
Kasumi's
I think he's
a girl,
supposed to be a guy.
What is?
I think the law kid who's like, you're the savior as a boy, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Kasane is a girl.
Well, the bandaged person who's like edgy and is like,
Zalba, whatever his name is.
Green girl, and then blue girl, and then purple boy.
They're both boys. I mean, there's 2 boys. There's not.
It's pretty much impossible to tell what their gender is, let's be honest. Except for the Chaos Kid. The Chaos Kid is easy. She's definitely a woman.
I don't want to interject too much, but have you guys seen the survey video thing that they showed on the Japanese version of the DX2 website?
Oh yeah, I did read about that. Yeah,
to kind of like cut it or like to simplify it, they asked a bunch of questions and they answered them in on a series of weird YouTube videos. It's like a lot of like videos to watch, but there's some pretty interesting tidbits. For instance, the majority of DX2 players in Japan are aged 40 to 44. and they're male. Which kind of coincides with something that Eiji Ishida said for Strange Journey, which was released like 10 years ago. And he said that most SMT players back then were 30, so 10 years later, now they're 40. So that's interesting. And then they had to rate their satisfaction in the game, and the average rating was 70%. So like 70 out of 100%.
That seems pretty fair.
Yeah. For a mobile game, yeah, it's good. And then, sorry, go ahead.
This is another topic. You got it. It's an unrelated topic, kind of.
Oh, no, go ahead and say what you're going to say, because this is not as interesting, I feel like.
Well, on the sub, people keep saying that, I forget we talked about this already, but some people keep saying that the game is going to die soon, they're trying to kill it. Is there like a reason for this? Or I'm confused.
I think it's just people mad at what they're doing and how they're kind of removing a lot of elements that made it more fun for people who didn't pay money. So like that paywall thing actually bothers me a lot. The fact that I even put money into trying to get Capote guy, and the fact that I put money towards trying to unlock Masakado again and I didn't get him. Like those things are really annoying that you have to pay in order to even roll for them, and you know that the percentage is super low anyway. I feel like that's mostly what people are mad about.
And
I think
they haven't added a fusible demon since Izanami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the demon pool is like there's a lot of demons, but most of them are useless. The fact that like the only good ones are basically are the ones that you get through that like gambling. That's what makes people upset, because you can't just build a really good viable PvP set and get to high ranks with just that.
Well, yeah, but that's for PvP. I mean, there's all sorts of other content.
I even see people.
You can't take Masakado to every content on its own.
True. But then I still see people who haven't even been Orgate 1 yet, and they've been playing for at least like 4 or 5 months, and that's kind of sad. Like, I mean, you probably
with people like that, they aren't prioritizing. Because like when I started, I spent a lot of my gems on Magnetite, and I fused stuff. And I'm seeing this attitude where people are like, don't spend stuff on Magnetite because you can just spin for a 5-star. And it's like, why would you do that when there's like, even when there's a 3% chance of getting one, that's still not good odds. You could save up and have a 100% chance of getting a good outcome.
It's the whole marshmallow experiment. People are more likely to get the instant gratification. They want that, so then they'll rather gamble over a guaranteed long game strategy, you know? Which is why, like, this game...
marshmallow kid.
Good. I'm not, but luckily I don't really care about mag, so I just let it grow over time. And I also, I do, I'll do opt for the mag things for my gems. My gems almost always still go to mag, and then the drinks, I just stock up on the cheap drinks every single round, every single Sunday.
Every week.
Yeah, basically.
I have like 150 of them, and I'm done buying them.
One of the things that they also did is they asked what are the most unsatisfying 5-star demons, and the number one. Just guess. What do you think the number one is?
Barong.
No, Barong has good fusions.
Metatron.
Okay, yeah. That would be my top 5 guesses. I would say Izanami definitely up in there, because people are like, it was weird when she came out. People were like making a big like deal out of her because of the 10% extra damage for dark and lightning or whatever. It's like you're occupying 25% of your stock in a fight to add 10% damage to one person or maybe 2 people. That's not that good.
Yeah.
You can have someone apply a buff, and that's way more already.
She works pretty good with my Black Frost and the Jax. That's about it, though.
Yeah.
And then, what do you think the number one 4-star that needs improvement is?
Ooh.
There's a lot of them.
Abaddon? regular
Maybe
Abaddon.
Beelzebub? I don't know.
No,
Ding, ding,
Beelzebub's
ding. Nope, you're right. Beelzebub is the one they want to improve.
Again?
Are these people insane?
Hey, they're true Megatennists. They're age 40, so they've been playing since the beginning.
It's probably because he's a favorite.
They're thinking of the DDS like boss fight. It's like, he should be able to kill everyone in one hit.
He's a fan favorite, so I can see people wanting him to be more viable. And
Sure, I understand that, but like the context of 4-star that needs improvement, there are 80% of them need more improvement than Beelzebub. If you give him Dark Pierce, he's an incredible demon. Even without it, he's like mediocre at best. Unlike Abaddon, the girl in red who has Lydia. What is her name? No one even knows her name because she's
Shikurihime?
her. She sucks.
Yeah, she does suck, and it's crazy because I actually like that demon, and I can't use her because she
Cerberus
sucks.
is terrible. He's trash.
Yeah, so they need. Okay, first of all, make Cerberus very, very good, and maybe even make a 5-star version of
The
Cerberus.
best part of him is a debuff. That's it. That's all he does.
Yeah, well, I use him in my party because, yeah, but no, actually, I use Baihu. No, who do I use? Who's the one with the intimidate stance?
That's Baihu. Purple Baihu
Okay.
does those.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I use. The Desu 2 character's little pet. They need to do like a special Pascal version of Cerberus. It's like a 5-star and like with really epic stuff. Like he'll
reference.
Yeah. And then he'll randomly teleport, and that could be part of like the little event is that he'll after he gets in the teleporter in SMT1, he randomly shows up in DX2, and then you have to send him back, and then that's how he comes back at the end of SMT1.
Yeah, that's some deep lore.
Yeah, I should work for Sega at this point. So some of the other cool things that they actually asked was aggregated, was like a wish list. The number one thing that they wanted is new demons.
Oh, it's not Rhino?
Well, I mean, it kind of number 5 is probably related to Rhino, but yeah, new demons, a way to duplicate demons, more story content. More collabs. That's the one they're probably talking about, Rhino. New DX2, so new characters to play as. Because yeah, they definitely need that. Better drop rates. new health park. Faction improvements. I don't know what Devil Trance is. Does anybody know what Devil Trance is?
Yeah, so Devil Trance was announced at TGS a while ago, last year, or I think it was last year, yeah. So they announced Aragate 2 and Mitamas and some of the other stuff at TGS that's already in the game at this point. But Devil Trance was one of the ones they announced that they haven't really communicated about recently at all. And the idea is the slide that they showed said something about customizing fiends and heroes to your liking, which a lot of the language they're using pointed towards fusion. So what people were saying was Devil Transformer, which might be the more correct translation or whatever, is about fusing or somehow otherwise creating fiends and heroes. But they keep printing new fiends, so it's unclear as to what they're actually doing.
Oh, okay. I also figured out what the other demon was, by the way. It's Sybil. It's Pavardi and Sybil are coming soon. I can't even think of a game with Sybil in it, to be honest. Is it like Soul Hackers?
Persona.
Oh, okay.
I think Redux might have Sybil in it, though. I think that's the only mainline game that has her.
She's blue, right?
Yeah, she's blue.
Then yeah, she's in Redux. They also announced like a new race. So what, Jirai maybe, or is what people are thinking with 6 new demons? And I would kill for that.
For real?
No, yeah, supposedly, yeah. In June, they're gonna get 6 new demons, and I really hope it's Jirai because then that means some of my favorite demons are gonna be there, like Albion. Oh my god, Albion and Gogmagog are like my favorite demons. I love them so much. Besides Bugaboo,
Goggle would look cool in 3D. He hasn't been in any 3D models, has he?
Nocturne.
Oh, he was in that?
Yes.
I don't remember him.
Or actually, was he in Nocturne? Yeah, he is. Yes, he has. Yeah, he's a Nocturne.
He's a Albion, I'm pretty sure.
But what they added, they're gonna have a new special fusion coming soon too, apparently. And so I don't know if this is
another race. Would that like change the fusion thingy, the fusion chart, whatever?
if they're adding a new race, they're probably gonna add a special fusion with that race. You know what I mean? So if they add the 6 new demons, one of them might be a special fusion. Which would be interesting. Supposedly, faction PvP is going to be a thing too, or no?
They've got to add something with factions. They haven't done anything other than the stupid gatekeeper thing that opens up every couple months.
I hate the gatekeeper thing.
It's really annoying, actually. I used to love it. Like, I used to even be like, oh, let's go for 3 times what they're asking for. But no, I hate it now. I don't ever want to do it. Every time I'm forced to do it, I groan.
The prizes are good. That's the only reason anyone does it.
Yeah. It's kind of boring and annoying.
Oh, it is. Okay, so it is going to be Jirai. So then that means that the potential demons are Kodama, Huapo, Sudama, Kuropukuru, Knocker, Quancha, Dwarf, Titan, Tsuchigumo, which would be good because Tsuchigumo is that spider that's in Raido, so that would be kind of cool.
Huapo is definitely going to be one of them.
Yeah,
which one? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, people have been clamoring for her for whatever stupid reason.
And then Gogmagog would... oh my god, Gogmagog is likely to be a 5-star, which I'll put him in my party even if he's useless. Supposedly, and also there's another one, but I can't pronounce her name. Tlak Chilk.
Yeah,
you know
that guy, the weird like breastfeeding monster is like an Aztec creature.
Oh,
yeah,
Bugaboo.
Wait, Bugaboo is a Jirai?
Yeah.
Okay, I would die. Actually,
Buckaboo from If is a Jirai, if I recall correctly. Buckaboo.
It's the same character, just older.
Just ugly.
I hope it's one from If. I hope it's one from If.
Okay. Okay. That would be the thing that makes me quit this game. If it's Bugaboo, but it's that one.
With a stupid orc with a shield and sword.
I would be mad. Definitely mad.
I would legit quit this game, not joking. And yeah, Bugaboo in Strange Journey is also Jirai. And oh my god, he needs to be a 5-star. And I mean, he's useless in Strange Journey. At least I didn't find him particularly useful. But I had him in my party anyways, because it's Bugaboo.
Does this mean he's going to be fusible?
Oh, I hope so. Okay. So I don't think they've confirmed which of the demons that are in the Jirai race are going to be it. But let's pray for Bugaboo. Can you guys do that? Even if you don't believe in Yahweh, just pray before you go to sleep. Ask for Bugaboo. I hate you, Neb. I hate you so much.
I hate Bugaboo. All right. What else we got?
Wow, we talked about DX2 for a lot. Good.
Yeah, more than I thought we would.
So let's gloss over PQ2. It got delayed, so that sucks, I guess. But who cares? Because it's not going to be in English.
Yeah, I forgot it was coming out, honestly. And then one of you reminded me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool.
It'll get here when it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the next topic. Questions.
Yeah, we have a couple questions from folks from, I guess, mostly Twitter and Facebook. Let's go with the first one that we have written down here. Diego Guerra writes in and asks, what are the differences of the versions of SMT1? I have no idea. I'm going to go right up front and have literally no idea what the difference is of any version. The versions are, the differences are negligible.
I guess the only notable version is the Sega version that was for the Turbo Graphics or whatever. That one's just different. But in general, it's just either different music, different sprites. That's what I remember. I've only played two versions: the SNES version and the PS1 version. And yeah, from as far as I can tell, sprites, cutscenes, different, and music. But that's about it. Yep.
Glib, what would you know any other versions of SMT1 that should be mentioned?
The one on iOS never been updated. Never ever.
Yeah, the iOS one's weird because it's a combination of some of the changes from the GBA version and some of the SMT or the PS1 version. So there's that.
Well, there you have it. Next up, Sinai Garcia writes in and asks, what kind of Magatama would one put in ramen?
Isn't it Sinai, like the mountains, or like the move Metatron does?
I thought it was pronounced Sinai.
Is it? Oh yeah, Cedar Sinai. That's how they say it, huh?
Sinai is a mountain that Moses talks to the bush.
Yeah, you better not mess with me. I know how to pronounce words. So yeah, this is a reference to something. I think someone mentioned this earlier, but I don't want to give context to the statement.
Read the question.
I did. You didn't listen.
Read it again because I didn't listen.
What kind of Magatama would one put in ramen?
What a great host.
Whenever Neb and Glib talk, I just turn my ears off, so...
I hate you. So this is a reference to some kind of fan art or something, is that correct?
Yeah, there's I think it is anyways. There's this fan art with, they're in the Persona 4 ramen house and their protagonists are eating ramen and Demi-Fiend has some Magatamas in his ramen.
Which Magatama would you put in your ramen, Glib?
I guess Masakato's. That's the best one, isn't it?
You freaking stole that answer from me.
You stole that. He's a thief. All right.
Stop stealing from me, Glib. What the heck?
To say it's the best one. Like what?
Who's not a thief here? Who wants to go next?
I'll say Magora. I think that's the first one you end up with in the game. That one has a lot of cool thematic meaning.
What about you, Neb?
I want the one that gives me null every element. Is that an option?
Which one is that?
It's not Masakoto?
But I want it. I can become invincible.
Well, now I gotta think of a new one because Glib decided to steal from me yet again.
Wow.
He doesn't know any better.
I pick Kailash. That's the one. Yeah.
All right, good choices. Next question comes from Rahul Ghosh, another regular, writing in saying, thoughts on how Alice is keeping SMT5's production under wraps so much. They didn't even officially announce the main staff names, except Yamai. Although we know it'll be Kozuka and Doi, do you think there's more to it? Maybe Kaneko as surprise guest? Leroux, please comment on this question.
The only way Kaneko, that's a Freudian slip. I consider myself the Kaneko of this podcast, I guess. The only way Kaneko would be a special guest is if they, like Spider said in the previous podcast, if they took his script, like the rest of the script that they used for SMT4, if they used that for SMT5, then he would get credit. Other than him being credited for the demon designs, no, I don't think he's going to be there at all.
Maybe under a supervision role, but I don't think he wants to interfere with the newer generation. Like when he passed off other games before.
Yeah. But I also don't really care to see what the other staff will be, because if we know Yamai's directing it, we know that Doi's doing the art, and we know that Kazuka and I think like Konishi or whatever the other person's name is, if they're the ones doing the music will be fine, because they do really good Tsukasa Masuko-esque music. My only concern is if they don't give Doi the creative freedom, we're just going to get a bunch of like weird pandery art instead of like good art like he did for a lot of the preliminary sketches and stuff for SMT4 Apocalypse. We talked about this already, but I don't want Kaneko involved. Let's just kill Kaneko, please.
Yeah, there's also Ishida. He's doing writing. He was also in the interviews.
Ooh, yeah. And if Ishida's involved, he was involved in a lot of the good games, and he has a pretty good understanding of the fan base. Like reading interviews about Strange Journey, he takes a lot of like what fans have to say and what he thinks fans want into consideration. And I think that a lot of things he tends to decide to do is good. Besides Deep Strange Journey, which was a mistake.
Is that the best
he
version
tried
of
to
the
balance
game?
it.
Really bad story, but that's fine.
On trying to pull in new fans and appealing to older ones at the same time.
Yeah, and making the best version of the game. Yeah, I think that the production of SMT5 is under wraps, so I don't have anything to really say officially. If it were sort of unique, not retrospective, but like just doing sort of a documentary on themselves, maybe that would be what you're asking. I think it's really under wraps. It's just how it normally works.
No, I think the reason why they're concerned is because with like Studio Zero projects and with Persona projects, they typically announce everybody. Even for Royale, they made an effort to say that Shoji Meguro is going to be making the new music, as opposed to like not saying that. Like that was a relevant selling point. The thing to consider is that for SMT, no one cares about like these other people. Like Doi is not like super famous in Japan, neither is Kazuka, and neither is Yamai. So the fact that they're not mentioned is not because it's under wraps so much as it is they're just not popular or not noteworthy to the average fan, in my opinion.
Sounds believable.
Oh, we got so much news when the announcement for 5 came out. The interviews, the trailer. There's a lot to go over if you're curious about what they're going to do or what their plan is. They went into great depths about what the game is and where they're going with it.
Yeah, we should probably just next time. I mean, when I publish this video, I should probably link every single SMT5 related interview because there's a lot. Yes, almost every interview ends with "Please be patient," but like, God, please be patient, please.
Yeah.
Next question.
Good way to sum that up. Some guy on Twitter asked a question about Persona 5 Royale and if we think it'll be different when they remake it. But I think we already sort of went over that, right?
Yeah, whoever said that should probably die.
Yeah, it's just not a very good question. We got a good one though from him Havoc, the Havoc X on Twitter. He says, if any SMT of your choice could get a remake, what would you pick?
Jack Bros.
Okay, how about a real answer, Spider?
I'd be happy with any of the older games that people refuse to play, to be honest.
So Jack Bros is a viable answer.
So every single one?
I'd prefer new content, but yeah, this maybe SMT1.
Yeah, I actually am with you on that. I actually don't really care about the idea of remakes so much as I would rather have new games, new content. That's why I was way more excited for the really kind of like troublesome Musou game than I am for Royale. I'm gonna answer your question for reals then. Megami Tensei 2, the one with the first project that Kaneko did, the one with the guy that loses his arm, because Hideo is like one of my favorite protagonists. So let's do that, even though that game probably wouldn't do well as a remade game.
I want SMT 1 and 2 remade together. And I'm still mad that the 3DS project they announced is SJR and not that. I'll never not be mad at that.
Well, Neb?
They should remake Persona 5.
Well, I have a surprise for you.
No, I don't know. I think this is a cool question, but I personally have no sort of investment. I don't really have one S&T game where like, man, I wish they'd remake this.
Actually, I thought of an even better real answer, and it's not a meme. It's not a meme. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Please remake it so that I could actually play it on a different console that's good.
That's true.
Not Wii U.
Isn't there a Wii U emulator?
Answer that dungeon.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a Wii U emulator. What's the problem?
Wait, what? How can you emulate it on PC?
Yes, on the modern personal computer, there are these programs called emulators. And what they do is they emulate
program
the original hardware, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so basically you can play console games on your computer, like PlayStation 2.
I didn't think that they did that for the Wii U.
N64, Wii U. Yeah, that's how you can play Breath of the Wild on PC.
Oh, it's more like Boar of the Wild, am I right?
Exactly.
But yes, I'm actually going to do that because why not play Tokyo Mirage Sessions on the best possible console? But at the same time, I would like to pay money for it on a console to support the company for making a good game, as opposed to being forced to buy games that I don't really care about, like PQ2, just to support the company and to support my hoarding habit.
Yeah, you have to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool if they released that game on a real console instead of the Wii U, which is not a real console. Other questions. We had one from some guy who asked about SD5. There's nothing about SD5. There's nothing to say.
Well, did you read his question?
Yeah. I did, but, there's nothing really to say.
Well, we get this question like every episode.
True.
Yeah.
So I guess the answer is please look at the other podcast episodes. I'm glad you're excited. But listen to the other episodes, please.
Yeah, just read the transcripts of them.
I bet so. We'll get big enough to the point where someone will transcribe all of them into Spanish and English and possibly Japanese.
Nightmarish.
A real fan would do that, man. You should go ahead and try that.
I mean, I have things to say about it, but it's just, I don't know. I probably have already said it before. I just don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, someone just copy and pasted it. We've literally talked about this like probably twice. It would be cool if they did cool things, and not cool if they did uncool things.
Let's see. Yeah, so basically, if they made another Strange Journey, that'd be great. But if they made any other game, that'd be bad. But if they made a Persona 5 based SMT5, that would be good too, because then we would have an entertaining game. But if they had made a Tokyo Mirage Sessions SMT5, that'd be probably the best possible version of SMT5. Sorry, I don't know. I felt like it was almost a meme, so I have to meme back.
No, I think this is a serious question, but it's just...
No, yeah. I don't want to beat up this guy too hard. Just listen to our other stuff, and you'll be like, wow, these guys have some deep takes on SMT5.
You probably won't reach that conclusion because it's untrue. But we have one more question written in by someone on Twitter whose name I don't remember. And he asks the very cryptic question, why is Logan Paul friends with Krishna? Does anyone understand this? I'm not a Zoomer. I'm a millennial, so I don't...
No. Glib is the young one.
Hey, Glib, you're a Zoomer. Do you understand this?
I have no clue what they're talking about.
I know who Logan Paul is for sure, but I don't.
He's the Suicide Forest guy, right?
What?
Yeah, so he went to the Suicide Forest and filmed a dead body on YouTube.
Yeah, you never heard about that? That was awesome. Yeah, he filmed like a whole video in front of a guy who hung himself in the Japanese whatever it's called, Suicide Forest.
Okigahara.
He's like, guys, it's not your mental health. He's like trying to pretend he cares about.
While laughing and wearing a Toy Story beanie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that whole...
I'm surprised I did not hear about this.
I haven't seen any of his individual videos, but I've seen clips of them from people who make fun of them. And he has a section where he runs around in Japan throwing Pokeballs at Japanese people. And
he puts a random fish on someone's car.
Yeah, he throws fish at people and stuff, and it's like, man.
How
living like that must rule.
Passport?
I don't know.
He also jumped into the he went to Italy and jumped into the that river that I forget what it's called.
The Italia.
The place in Italy, the one that's famous, Venice, the Venice Canal. He jumped into it, even though you're not supposed to. And then the reason why I knew about him is because preceding those things, he made a video about being colorblind, and I'm colorblind, so it bothered me a lot that he just pretended to be colorblind. He put on these glasses that are supposed to correct colorblind vision, and he watched the sunset, and he just fake cried, like as if it was the most beautiful thing ever. When the only difference, if you were actually colorblind, is just the pigments. That the way you receive them would just change a little bit, because you know, if you're colorblind, quote unquote, all it means is that one of the cones in your eyes is damaged, so you don't see it to the same way that another person would see it. So if you looked at something red and your red cone was damaged, it wouldn't be as bright, I guess. So for him to wear glasses and start crying was really funny.
Well, you know, I guess your eyes should just work then. How about that?
But for him to be friends with Krishna, I guess the idea would be that Logan Paul's lame and Krishna is also lame in SMT4 Apocalypse. Even though people like him, he's like Demi-Fiend, where it's usually the edgy people that like him because he's edgy, you know?
Yeah.
I think he's cool. He's not edgy. He has like lederhosen. He's got the little hat. He plays a flute the whole time.
His design's kind of cool.
I like his design. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a fancy lad. He's cool.
It's not his design that's edgy. It's his ideology in the game. I don't remember it exactly because it's SMT4 Apocalypse we're talking about, but
it's easy. It basically is like, hey, you know how we're trapped in this eternal cycle of birth and rebirth and death and everything. What if we got rid of all that and we're all weird energy beings? We're equal, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, that's basically Isamu, except without the cool hat.
He's got a cooler hat. I think Krishna's hat is cooler. It looks like a Tyrolean.
He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni.
Yes, he was the original Yankee Doodle. Isamu is a dumbass. His hat looks dumb. I hate him.
You're the Isamu of this podcast, by the way.
I'm going to kick your ass. Is that something he would say?
I don't know what he would say. He'd just be like, I'm going to be alone right now.
All right, that's a little different.
So I guess that wraps up the podcast. Let us know if you liked when we talked bad about all the things you like. And again, I'm your host, LaRue, and with me is Neb.
Hello. Goodbye.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to say goodbye. Glib.
Goodbye.
And Spider.
Goodbye.
Well, can I have fun?
Yep.
Finally.